All right, Kathy, you want to start us off?
Sure. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Kathy Hart, and I am the director of Wolf Treks Travel at NC State Alumni Association. And when I sent you the email, I just said NC State Travel, and the reason was because I was not sure you were aware of Wolf Treks. But Wolf Treks is what we branded the travel program at the Alumni Association, and I'm trying to build awareness for that. And most of our travelers are, quite frankly, over the age of 60, but we are trying to build a young alumni travel program, and we've been working with AESU now for several years to do that. We started working with them to do our graduation trip, which we usually offer right after graduation every year, and it's a quick trip, not really quick, but an expansive trip through Europe. It's about 15 days, I think, and so our students have really enjoyed that, and we've had groups of anywhere between 20 and 35 who've gone to Europe right after graduation. And then they launched their young alumni program, and we wanted to give that a try. So we've been doing that for several years, and I hope to educate you a little more about our young alumni efforts and that you will consider joining us for a trip. Connor Smith is the Alumni Association's Director of Young Alumni Programs, and you've probably been getting emails from him. And we're definitely trying to beef up our young alumni programming efforts as we grow the Alumni Association. So I'm hoping you'll join us on some other endeavors, and that you'll certainly give some consideration to joining us for one of these AESU wonderful trips that they do. And I'm sure they'll tell you, they're priced just for you and at a length where it wouldn't take too much of your vacation time to be able to go. So I'm going to turn it over to you all, to Christine, and let her tell you all about the ones we have to offer.
Okay, thanks so much, Kathy. My name is Christine Gaelic. I'm a travel coordinator for AESU, and I just want to thank you all for joining us today and for your interest in our Young Alumni Travel Program with NC State. So what I'm going to do today is highlight 3 exciting tours that we have coming up this fall. I'm going to introduce you to some of our incredible tour directors that you'll be traveling with, and just go over some general information about the Young Alumni Travel Program. So we will have an opportunity for a Q&A at the end. So if you want to submit your questions while I'm going through the presentation, I'll be answering all of those at the end. And then we're going to aim to take about 45 minutes to an hour, just kind of depending on how many questions you have. So just some general housekeeping items. We are recording this session. If you want to just make sure your mics are muted and your video is off. And again, you can use the chat feature to submit questions at any time, and I'll be going over them at the end. So as Kathy mentioned, the NC State Alumni Association has been partnering with AESU since 2005, taking both recent grads and now young alumni on journeys around the world. And AESU specializes in designing and operating educational trips for young professionals since 1977. So traveling with us is going to mean traveling with like-minded people, typically in the same age range and with similar backgrounds. When you join a young alumni trip, the itineraries are designed especially for 22 to 35-year-olds. The trips are themed to provide unique experiences. As Kathy was mentioning, they're designed so that you'll only need up to 5 vacation days to travel, and they are value priced for young working professionals. We have tons of optional activities that are offered to help style your free time, and all of the educational activities are going to be included in the land package price for you. So we'll be doing a little giveaway today. What I'm going to do is I'm going to present 3 poll questions to you throughout the presentation, and all you need to do is answer them. They will be anonymous. You don't need to worry if you got the incorrect answer. You just need to participate to qualify for some of these prizes. So we will be giving away an AESU travel voucher valued at $100 that you can use for a young alumni trip in either 2021 or 2022. Kathy has a couple NC State beach towels and a basket of drinkware goodies, as well as some NC State socks. So specifically, the tours that I'm going to be going over today are Morocco, Ireland, and Portugal. And before I jump into the first tour, I'm going to go ahead and present the first poll question. So though it is a part of Africa, Morocco is separated from Europe only by the Strait of Gibraltar. How many miles separate Morocco from Spain? 8, 12, or 20? give everyone just a moment to answer that. All right, everyone did pretty well. The correct answer is 8 miles. Okay, so going to introduce you to our Moroccan tour director. Her name is Jessie, and she's here to tell you a little bit about the trip.
Hey there, your ASU tour director Jessie here. So I've heard that you are interested in visiting the magical land of Morocco. I can't blame you there. Morocco has so much to offer and is truly unlike anywhere else. So here at ASU, we've put together the best of the best to introduce you to the Western Kingdom of Morocco. First up, a traditional tagine cooking class where you can flex your culinary skills and learn all about the spices of Morocco. Next, wander through the vibrant markets full of handmade goods, sip on mint tea, and soak in all of the culture. Feeling up for a little adventure? We'll hike through the high Atlas Mountains, through ancient villages, or feeling a little bit more mellow, then head out to the beach for the afternoon, gaze over the bluest Atlantic waters. Camel rides? Of course, we'll be riding camels through the desert on this Moroccan adventure. Or feeling like a little bit more R&R, then treat yourself at a traditional Hammam spa. I can't wait to travel with you. Buckle up. Who's ready to come with? See you.
All right, so I'm just going to go through the itinerary for this trip real quick. So day 1 will be your travel day to Morocco. You'll want to make sure to arrive at the airport early with all of your travel documents and enjoy your flight. On day 2, you'll be getting ready for the adventure of a lifetime in Morocco. On our first evening together, we'll meet in the hotel for a special welcome orientation and dinner with your tour director and fellow travelers. On the morning of day 3, we'll explore exotic and enchanting Marrakesh with our local guide. We'll see stunning sights such as El Badi Palace and Bahia Palace, as well as the city's main square, where one can find everything from snake charmers to acrobats. After a lunch of local specialties, we'll explore the souk and shop for everything from leather goods to Moroccan lamps and traditional crafts made from metal and wood. Later on, we'll continue our adventure with a camel ride on the rocky landscape of the Agafay Desert. Then this evening, we'll enjoy a gourmet Moroccan meal with stunning views of the Agafay Hills, watching the sunset play with the changing colors of the scenery. On day 4, we'll explore the electric blue garden created by French painter Jacques Majorelle in the early 1900s. These grounds are shared with a museum dedicated to the iconic designer Yves Saint Laurent. And while fashionistas will certainly enjoy the exhibition, the library houses rare books that might interest others. Finally, we'll visit Morocco's most beautifully curated museum, the Berber Museum, exhibiting collections of jewelry and traditional dresses. This afternoon, enjoy a traditional tagine cooking experience. Learn how to cook local dishes and discover the secrets of some of the best Moroccan recipes in a professional yet casual atmosphere. Afterward, sit back, relax, and enjoy your delicious home-cooked meal together with your newfound friends. Day 5 will be a free day to explore Marrakesh on your own. If you prefer an intriguing destination, you may like to join our optional hike in the Atlas Mountains or enjoy an exquisite royal hammam spa experience. Tonight, we venture out to Jama al-Ifna, arguably the most mythical location that comes to life at night. Enjoy a guided walking tour and discover the square's nonstop energy. You'll see fortune tellers, snake charmers, and acrobats, and you can try a juice, camel milk, or grilled meats from famous street vendors popular with locals and foreigners alike. On day 6, we'll bid farewell to Marrakesh as we make our way west towards the coast and the seaside city of Oussoura. Today might be your first time tasting Moroccan wine. The owners of Val d'Argan Winery are of French origin and also own a winery in Châteauneuf-du-Pape. The wines produced in Morocco are not exported, therefore this is a unique opportunity to taste the Val d'Argan Red, El Mogador Rosé, or the Orient's Blanc. Decide which one pairs best with your lunch of Moroccan specialties. If you've heard about the benefits of argan oil for hair and skin, you will be very interested in our visit to an argan oil women's cooperative. Learn how this miracle oil is produced and sample the magic essence of argan. We'll continue to Asura with its atmospheric Medina, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, its colorful bazaars, and a center that bustles with open-air restaurants and cafes. After a dinner of local specialties at our hotel, head out and explore the city's nightlife. On day 7, we explore Asura's walled Medina, which dates from the late 18th century and is listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Walk the narrow streets, admire whitewashed buildings with decorative wooden doors, and enjoy the serene atmosphere of this seaside village. Browse shops offering traditional Moroccan wares, including wooden goods carved from local thuya wood and local spices. In the afternoon, we explore the beach on a quad bike tour. Ride through the dunes and alongside the ocean, then ride through a fishing village and discover the ruins of the old Sultan's palace. After watching a stunning sunset over the Atlantic, the evening is free for your own adventures. On day 8, our journey continues along the coast to Casablanca. Although it is not Morocco's capital city, it is the country's largest city with a thriving economy and an array of cultural venues. Hassan Ii Mosque is Casablanca's landmark building. Having employed over 10,000 of the kingdom's artists and craftsmen to build, today it is the largest mosque in Morocco with the tallest minaret in the world and a stunning display of Moroccan Andalusian architecture. A local guide will share stories and history of this grand work of architecture on our guided tour today. Enjoy free time to further explore the city or some last-minute shopping before our farewell dinner at Rick's Cafe. It was designed to recreate the bar made famous by Humphrey Bogart and Ingrid Bergman in the classic movie Casablanca. Share stories of your Arabian adventure, post last-minute selfies on the band group app, and start following your travel companions on Instagram to ensure everyone is on board for a reunion trip to yet another spectacular country. And then on day 9, we'll finish the tour after breakfast and you'll enjoy your flight home with your memories of the tour and plans for your next Young Alumni adventure. So this tour will be taking place August 14th through the 22nd, and the land package price in a twin share room is $2,498 per person. There will be a $500 deposit due at the time of booking that will secure your spot on the trip. And while the final payment date is May 17th, we are able to extend that to 75 days prior to the tour's departure. The maximum group size for this tour is going to be 35 people, and you are welcome to bring friends and family at the same alumni rate. We do just recommend that they be within the traditional young alumni range, so that 22 to 35 age range. All right, so next we're going to talk about Ireland, and I have another poll question for you. So which holiday was actually originated in Ireland? Valentine's Day, Easter, or Halloween? All right, so the answer is actually Halloween. And a little bit of background info, Halloween actually traces back its origins to the Gaelic festival of Samhain, a harvest festival held on the 31st of October to mark the end of summer. And now we will hear from our tour director, Doris, about our Ireland trip.
Hi there, your ASU tour director Doris here. I can't wait to go on this truly one-of-a-kind adventure with you to incredible Ireland. Ireland may be small in stature, but this island is both absolutely beautiful and tons of endless fun. This journey along Ireland's southern coast definitely highlights the rolling green hills and cobblestone streets. We're going from Dublin to Dingle, but more than that, it takes you into the heart of the Irish people, and most excitingly, into kitchens. The core of this tour is to educate and pull back the curtain on the smells and tastes that make up Ireland's most special food and drink. From exploring how some of the most famous whiskies in the world came to be, to trying out the original home of farm-to-table dining, the trip from Dublin to Dingle is filled with Irish charm and history. No matter the city or countryside, I'm sure you'll fall in love with the warm and welcoming people and customs. It's honestly unlike anywhere else. Slant, your friends, cheers to you for choosing to come on this amazing journey with me. See you soon.
All right. So again, the day one is going to be your travel day to Ireland. And then on day two, upon arrival in Dublin, take some time to settle in, then start exploring. Consider visiting Teeling Distillery, the only operational distillery in the city, for a tasting, then continue to the Guinness Storehouse, making sure to stop by Brewer's Dining Hall for a taste of Guinness straight from the source, or tour the historic Dublin Jameson Distillery, where the spirit was originally distilled and bottled before moving to its new home in Middleton. This evening, you'll join your fellow travelers and tour director for a special welcome dinner and orientation. Day three will be a free day for you to explore Dublin on your own. Hop-on, hop-off bus tours are a great way to see all the city has to offer, or you may want to join us for an optional excursion to Tullamore and Kilbeggan distilleries. The cost for this option is $185 per person, and those joining can expect a full day of whiskey-filled knowledge with a pit stop at Blarney Castle and lunch between tours. On the morning of day four, we start to make our way to Cork. En route, we'll stop in Middleton to explore the Jameson Distillery. Next, we continue to beautiful Ballymaloe, a famous cooking school in Southern Ireland run by celebrity chef Darina Allen, consisting of a farm, a full restaurant, shop, and cafe. We'll tour the organic gardens of this amazing establishment that practiced farm to table before it was cool. Then we'll enjoy lunch at the restaurant. Finally, we'll make our way the rest of the trip to Cork, where you'll enjoy a free evening to explore the city on your own. On day five, you'll enjoy a free day in Cork and see all the city has to offer, or take a bus down to check out the fishing town of Kinsale for the day. This centuries-old port offers a variety of activities from whale watching and sailing to ghost tours, plus deliciously fresh seafood. Alternatively, you may want to consider joining an optional excursion to Blarney Castle, where we'll spend the day exploring the grounds, leave a kiss at the Blarney Stone, then visit the heritage town of Cobb. The cost for this excursion is $185 per person. Then tonight, we'll enjoy a freshly prepared meal at a local restaurant together. On the morning of day six, we'll visit the English Market, which is one of the oldest and most well-known markets in Ireland, having been around since the 18th century. Our next stop will be the Franciscan Well Microbrewery to enjoy some lunch at the Wells Brick Oven Pizza Pub, situated right on the River Lee. Our final stop on the way to Dingle will be for some refreshments in the picturesque town of Killarney on the shores of the Loch Lean. When we arrive in Dingle, enjoy a free evening to explore or relax. Day 7 will be our last full day together, and you can consider an optional seaweed foraging excursion for $125 per person, where we'll learn about the different types of seaweed and sustainable harvesting. This afternoon, we'll enjoy a tour and tasting at the Dingle Distillery. Afterward, we'll head to the West Kerry Microbrewery for a visit, where we'll meet the microbrewers who create this local Irish lager before sitting down and enjoying a pint. The rest of the afternoon is free to check out some of the town's famous sights and insanely gorgeous views, or go for a hike. Then this evening, we'll enjoy a special farewell dinner at a local pub. Then day 8 will be our travel home day. So this tour is going to be running from September 4th to the 11th, and the price for a twin share is $1,989 per person. Again, there is a $500 deposit due at the time of booking to secure your spot, and the final payment date is going to be Monday, June 7th. The maximum group size, again, is going to be 35 people, And as with all of our Young Alumni tours, you're welcome to bring family or friends at the same rate as the alumni price, as long as they are within that 22 to 35 age range. All right, and so our final tour for today is going to be Portugal. And so I have one last poll question for you guys. Portugal is the world's largest producer of what environmentally friendly product? Cork, azulejo tiles, or uncoated paper? Okay, you guys did a great job with this one. The answer was cork. Okay, now a special message from our tour director, Vera.
Hi, it's your ASU Director Vera here. I'm so excited that you are interested in exploring Portugal with us. Portugal has been one of our most popular vacation destinations for a long time now, and I am sure that it will absolutely win you over concerning its affordability, the sights, the tastes, and the culture. Sweets like pastéis de nata, delicious wines, and amazing coastal wines are just the beginning. There's so much to explore and to experience, like Lisbon, Porto, Tomar, and also Coimbra. I can't wait to have you started on this adventure with me, and I'm sure you're gonna love it. And besides, we have also yoga classes in there, so be sure to join. See you there. Ciao.
All right. So day one, we're going to board our overnight flights to Portugal. And day two, you'll start your Portugal adventure by exploring Lisbon. Make sure to explore the neighborhood of Belém and take some selfies at the Henry the Navigator Discoveries Monument. Our afternoon city tour will be a super fun tuk-tuk ride through some of Lisbon's famous neighborhoods. And during tonight's welcome dinner, you'll get to try some of Portugal's exquisite delicacies firsthand. Day three will be your free day in Lisbon, and there is so much more to see and do. Consider joining us for an optional trip to Sintra with its misty forests and beautiful palaces that give the town a sense of one entering a fairy tale. Historical and picturesque sites include the medieval castle of the Moors, the National Palace of Pina, and Quinta de Regalera, just to name a few. This optional excursion is available for $155 per person. Then on day four, our journey south to the Algarve coast takes us through the Alentejo region. We'll stop near one of the beaches for an opportunity to go on a horseback ride along the coast. The cost for this option is $90 per person. If you prefer, grab some food or coffee and relax by the ocean before we continue to the most beautiful southern coastline of Portugal. The views from Cabo de São Vicente, the southwesternmost point of mainland Europe, are stunning. Make sure to take lots of pictures and tag the end of the world. Our final stop today is Lagos, with its picturesque beaches and buzzing nightlife. Explore the charming city center during free time, shop for local crafts, and enjoy local foods at one of the many cafes and restaurants. The Algarve stay might just turn out to be your favorite part of the adventure. Day 5 will be your free day in Lagos, and you can enjoy the breathtaking beaches or opt for a kayak excursion, which is offered for $45 per person. You'll see some of the most magical caves and hidden beaches only accessible by boat or kayak. Snorkeling equipment will be provided if you'd like to explore the crystal clear waters. Then our beach barbecue tonight will be an incredible spread of fresh local ingredients, and you definitely won't go hungry. On day 6, our adventure continues as we start heading north. We'll stop in the charming town of Tomar, which was a religious center for the Knights Templar during the 12th century. Check out the UNESCO World Heritage Site, Coveto de Cristo, and Blarney Castle before our tapas-style lunch at a local restaurant. Our final destination is Porto. The food and nightlife is becoming more international, but overall the city atmosphere remains old world with steep cobbled streets, red tiled roofs, and intricate Baroque buildings. You will find a lot of buildings tiled with the signature azulejo blue tiles, which have Moorish roots. On day 7, we will discover Porto, one of the oldest UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Our expert will show us the city through the eyes of a local and point out the most popular sites. We even get to explore the Lelo bookstore with its intricately wrought spiral staircase that was supposedly the inspiration for the grand staircase at Hogwarts in the Harry Potter books. J.K. Rowling partly wrote her books in Porto while working there as an English teacher. You will not want to miss out on this once-in-a-lifetime selfie opportunity. The day would not be complete without a port wine tasting in Villanova de Gaia. Ask our expert where the locals eat and make plans for a lovely dinner with travel companions. On day 8, you'll have another day in Porto to spend as you'd like, but you may want to join our optional excursion to the famous Douro wine region. We'll hit a bike trail across the wine terraces past rolling hills covered with vines, olive trees, and poppies. Afterward, we'll visit a wine cellar to taste some of the best port and Douro wines with a hearty lunch. The cost for this excursion is $155 per person. Then in the evening, we'll enjoy Portuguese cuisines one last time at our farewell dinner, then listen to the soulful national soundtrack, Fado music. Then day 9 will be our day to travel home. So the tour dates for this trip are September 19th through the 11th through the 19th. And the land package price in the twin share is $1,865 per person. Again, there's going to be a $500 deposit due at the time of booking to secure your spot. And the final payment date for this tour is going to be June 14th. The maximum group size will be 35 people. And then again, with all of our Young Alumni tours, you're welcome to bring friends or family at the same rate. They just have to be within the Young Alumni age group. Okay, so now I'm going to go over some general information about our Young Alumni travel program for you. So when it comes to airfare, AESU can book your flights for you, and there are many advantages to booking your airfare with us. So first and most important is going to be peace of mind that we'll know where you are on your flights at all times. And if your flight is delayed or canceled, the airline will inform us, and then we'll pass that information on to the tour director, or if necessary, assist with rebooking. Another reason to book airfare with us is that you'll receive free transfers to and from the airport overseas as long as you're traveling on the regular tour dates. If you need to change your flights, you can always call us and we can take care of that for you. And then depending on the type of change, the airline may be charging fees. But for any flight information or questions, you can always contact our reservations department by phone or email, and we are happy to help. As for spending money, we do recommend that you take a relatively small amount of cash with you. During your travels, ATMs and credit cards are typically the best way to exchange money. You just want to make sure that your card is on a major network, and be sure to call your bank before leaving to let them know that you'll be using your cards out of the country. Otherwise, they may put a fraud alert on your card, or they could cancel your card entirely. As far as documents you'll need, everyone will need a valid passport to travel. Your passport needs to be valid for at least 6 months past your return date. If you're not a U.S. citizen, you'll want to call your consulate to see if you are in need of a visa, but U.S. citizens do not need visas for any of these trips. Your final tour documents will be emailed to you approximately 3 to 4 weeks prior to departure, and will also be available to download from your AESU account. For hints on packing and luggage, we have some useful links that you can check out on our website with suggestions. You're allowed to take 1 carry-on bag, such as a backpack in addition to a purse, and 1 check bag with a maximum weight of 50 pounds. And then your final documents will include the updated rules from the TSA on carry-on bags. When it comes to taking electronics, we do advise taking as few as possible and leaving your laptops or tablets at home. Just remember that anything you take with you can also be lost, stolen, or broken. If you do bring your smartphone, be sure to check on international rates, especially data roaming with your carrier. We would advise turning data roaming off, especially while traveling, unless your carrier offers an affordable international package. Please be aware that not all hotels may offer free Wi-Fi. Some hotels offer free service in the public area, such as the hotel lobby. Some may offer complimentary service throughout. Some may offer service at a charge anywhere in the hotel, and some may not offer Wi-Fi at all, or it may be spotty. There are tons of hotspots, and you'll be able to connect also in the airport when you arrive so that you can connect to our group messaging app. And speaking of our group messaging app, we do use the app Band, which is a free app that you can download. We will send you an invitation roughly 3 to 4 weeks prior to the tour's departure. And this is going to be a great way for you to meet and connect with other travelers, as well as the tour director prior to actually departing. So lots of people like to use this as a way to compare flights, maybe even coordinate rides to the airport, start to plan out your free time, things you want to do, maybe buy certain admissions ahead of time, things like that. We will be having a photo contest, so this is a great opportunity for you to submit your amazing photos and videos of your group, any landscape shots, special moments that you captured, and we will be sending out more information as far as deadlines and prizes as we get a little bit closer. So a few final things, make sure you take a book or some games for the rides in between cities. If you have a student ID, be sure to take it with you because extra discounts may be available at select stores, sites, and museums. Before you leave, try to plan out things you might want to do during your free time. If there are certain museums or sites, you can purchase tickets online ahead of time so that you already have them when you get there, allowing you to skip some of the long lines. Finally, be sure to make copies of all of your important documents, including your passport, your credit cards, travel documents, hotel lists, etc. And last but not least, have fun. These are designed to be once-in-a-lifetime trips that you're going to remember forever. Okay, so I'm just going to go over a little bit of information regarding COVID before we get to the question and answer portion. So we are increasing our flexible booking policies so that you have the freedom to change your mind. So you can plan your future travel and have the option to change your mind for any reason up to 60 days prior to the tour. And you can transfer the funds to another AESU trip at no cost. You can transfer to another trip through the end of 2022. These policies are subject to change, and any airfare penalties are separate and are governed by the policies of the individual airlines. So again, if you were to change your mind for any reason up until 60 days prior to the trip, we will not charge you anything to change to another Young Alumni trip, whether it be in 2021 or through the end of 2022. And if you were to opt for a cash refund, our standard refund policy will apply. We will be providing status updates for each tour no later than 75 days prior to the departure of the tour. We are monitoring the government regulations and CDC recommendations, and if they were to prohibit us from safely operating the tour, we will provide a full refund of the land cost, less any minimal fees for administrative costs. In the event that a change in circumstances within 75 days of departure forced us to cancel the trip, we will provide a travel voucher for 100% of the land cost paid. And then that voucher can be used through the end of 2022. So just making sure that you're traveling safely while you're on the tour, you will need to bring your own mask. Our guides are receiving enhanced health and safety training. Our AESU headquarters support team is available 24/7 to assist, and our tour directors and local experts are helping to ensure seamless communication and a safe experience for everyone. While you're seeing the sites in major cities, AESU will provide wireless listening equipment so that local guides don't have to crowd you all together or shout over others. And then safety guidelines, especially at major tourist sites, will be constantly changing. So our team will be monitoring the situation in each country on a daily basis to make sure that you know exactly what to expect for the day. Just a few more things. So all local suppliers, including hotels, restaurants, transportation companies, and activity providers are enhancing disinfectant protocols for your added safety. So all vehicles will undergo rigorous daily cleaning and hand sanitizer will be provided before boarding. We'll also ensure that hand sanitizer is available throughout each trip during excursions and in hotels. And then our hotels are being vetted to make sure that they meet or exceed government mandated standards of cleanliness and service. Okay, so that is everything that I have for you guys. Just a few other tours that we are offering in 2021. We have a great trip to Dubai happening at the end of September, as well as a trip to Peru in October, and finally a trip to Austria for New Year's Eve. And then in 2022, we have some awesome trips coming up: South Africa, Egypt, Greece, Iceland, Japan, Italy, and then another New Year's Eve trip, this time to Berlin. So you can view any of the 2021 or 2022 tours at any time just by going to aesu.com/ncstate, and you'll see the full tour lineup there. So I'm going to now open it up to any questions that you guys have. So again, you can use that chat feature and send me any questions that may have come into your mind while I was going over it.
Awesome. And before and kind of while questions come in, just wanted to provide a quick introduction and hello. I know Kathy had mentioned and done a little intro, but was on a call that ran a few minutes. I feel like we all know how that goes, right? But anyway, just wanted to say hello and thanks for joining today. My name is Connor Smith, and I serve as our Director of Student and Young Alumni Programs. I see a lot of familiar faces, names on the call, so good to see y'all. Obviously, seen you guys just around, either on campus or at events, Young Alumni events. I know Kathy, I think, had alluded to it, but have been doing just a lot of great Young Alumni events recently, so hopefully we'll see you on one of these trips, but if not there, at other events too that we've been hosting around. So just want to say hello and welcome. It's good to have you all on today. So yeah, would love to kind of speak to any questions or things about any of these specific trips, just traveling in general. Yeah, so feel free to shoot those in the chat if you have them, or if you want to unmute yourself and say hey, would love that too. So
Awesome. Thanks so much, Connor. Okay, it looks like the first question that we had come through is about airfare. So when booking airfare with AESU, do we do that when we sign up for the trip or through a separate website, and how expensive are flights typically? So when you are making your reservation for the tour, there will be a section for you to just select the US city that you're looking to depart from, and then that will prompt us to automatically go ahead and book flights for you. So we will provide an updated invoice that shows the flights, and then you have about a week or two to let us know if you want us to make any changes to those or if you're good with them. So you don't have to go to any separate websites or anything. The flight prices do vary. We do have contracted rates with select airlines, so we are able to get pretty competitive prices, but just depending on which tour you're looking at and the dates and such, they do vary. So again, if you have any questions about flights, or if you just like a flight quote, we're always happy to help. Just contact us by phone or email. You can see on the screen here, I have my own contact information as well as my colleague Maggie, who can help with any questions regarding any of these tours. Okay, so maybe Connor or Kathy, we have a question about travel insurance. I believe that that's something that the Alumni Association.
That's correct. We do. We have a travel insurance operator that we work with, and what I do is when someone books a trip, I send them a confirmation, and in that confirmation, I send a link to the travel insurance. And I always tell everybody, whether you choose our travel insurance provider or another one, travel insurance is a good thing to have, especially these days. And I strongly, strongly encourage it.
Yes. Okay, we have a question about dietary restrictions. So if you are vegetarian or gluten-free, etc., we can definitely accommodate that. We do just need you to let us know. You can make a comment on your booking form when you're filling that out. And then also if you want to just send us an email once your booking is confirmed so that you know that we have it noted. We will let the tour director know ahead of your arrival on the tour, so that way they can let each restaurant that you'll be dining in know. And then that welcome orientation on the first night is a great chance for you to approach the tour director and just remind them. That way you know that it's taken care of throughout the duration of the tour. Okay, we have a question about optional excursions. So the optional excursions, when do we sign up for them and how are they paid? For these tours, we will be sending out information on the optional excursions about a month or so prior to departure. We'll be sending a booking form so that you can make the selection of which optional excursions you would like to sign up for, and you can provide credit card information at that time, and we will charge you for that. So that way it'll all be sorted out before you get there. Okay, are suggestions provided for meals that aren't covered in the tour? That's a great question. So we do have a list of free time suggestions for each of the destinations that you'll be visiting on the tour's website. Your tour director is also going to be an amazing reference for suggestions of all sorts. So things to do, places to eat, whether you are on a budget or you're looking for a more expensive meal, they're going to know all the things that you should do. So definitely recommend taking advantage of them, asking them tons of questions, and hearing what they have to say for each place you'll be visiting.
And I usually recommend with our graduating senior trip that you do something simple for lunch, that you can stop into a cafe or a pastry shop and pick up something, and that way you spend your money on your dinners. The other thing I also tell everybody on that trip is don't make this into a shopping spree. Make this an experience. Get yourself into the culture there and enjoy the places, but don't try to bring everybody on that home some kind of treat. You can avoid that.
Definitely only have so much room in your suitcase.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Okay, how can we connect with people on these trips / meet people before the trip? Yeah, so as mentioned in the presentation, we do have a group messaging app that we provide for all of our tours. And so this will be sent out to you in an email about a month prior to the tour. We'll give you all the information on the app that we're using, as well as a link to connect to your group directly. And it's a free app, so you just need to make an account, and then you will be able to connect with all the travelers that you'll be traveling with, as well as the tour director. So it's a great opportunity to find out who else is going to be traveling with. Again, you can coordinate flights, especially when people are leaving from the same school. We tend to see a lot of people on the same flights. Maybe can coordinate rides to the airport, things that you want to do in your free time. And then that's a great way to, if you have any last minute questions, maybe for the tour director, you can introduce yourself there and ask.
Yeah, and I was just gonna add on to that. Once that group is formed too, I know I would be happy to kind of host like an in-person meetup for that small group. So just another touch point if maybe you're local in the Triangle, because a lot of our travelers are, but some aren't. But if you are local and can make it, would love to maybe just organize that and have a little meetup one night, maybe locally somewhere, too, so we can get to know each other. So,
Thank you, Connor. That's a great thing to do. Is, before you is to get everybody. I do bring the student group together because they're all on campus, so I can get them together. But I don't know where all these folks will be coming from. So, but that's a great suggestion. Thank you for offering.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so a question about meals. Are any meals included in the package besides breakfast? So it does just depend on the tour. So breakfast is included daily on all of our tours. And then we do try to include a handful of dinners and, depending on the tour, possibly a lunch. So if you visit any of the tour pages, the websites, we do have a full list of everything that's included in the land package price. So you can kind of see it broken down, and it will list each meal that is included. So you'll kind of have a heads up of when dinner's taken care of or when you'll be needing to get it on your own.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of times free time too is scheduled during the lunch hour, which is kind of nice because then you can kind of go and explore, different parts of the city or wherever we may find ourselves too. So that way you can kind of pick and choose to what is of interest. But yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So we try to provide a great mix of scheduled activities as well as free time. So a lot of people ask, about if they want to go off and do stuff on their own, can they skip out on any of the scheduled activities? So you will have a great amount of free time in any of the places that you're going to be in. But then also, if there's ever an activity that you don't want to participate in, you're more than welcome to skip it. You do just need to let the tour director know that you're not going to be there so that they're not searching for you.
And often I find that the group breaks down into smaller groups as you travel. So there's these folks that want to go to this museum, or these folks that want to have this dining experience. And so the group will break down into smaller groups and sort of head out and do things like that as well.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, do we have to pay by credit card or can we mail checks? Yeah, so for the $500 deposit, you can pay that right online with your credit card. For the final balance, you can pay by credit card or you can mail us a check. So we do have a 4% processing fee that is applied to any payments made by credit card beyond the initial deposit. So if you want to avoid that fee, you can mail us a check for the final balance. And then people often ask about payment deadlines as far as mailing checks, just because sometimes the mail is delayed and we can't help that. But we do go by the postmark date. So as long as you have it in the mail by the deadline, that will be more than fine. Okay, what if I am traveling as a single traveler? How am I roomed with others and how will I spend my free time? Yeah, so if you are traveling as a single traveler, you can book into a twin share and we will try to room you with another single traveler of the same gender. As long as we can find someone, then you're fine. If we're not able to find someone for the Young Alumni Tours, the single supplement will apply. As far as your free time, kind of what Kathy was saying, we tend to see everyone breaking up into smaller groups, just depending on what you want to do and see that day. So it's not often that we have anyone who wants to do something and can't find anyone else that wants to do it. And we really tend to see people make really great friends on these tours and really bond over the experiences that they have. And I know I've been on a tour and I made lifelong friends. So it was a really great experience. And I always say, don't let signing up by yourself stop you from going, because you're going to have the time of your life. And you're not even going to remember that you signed up by yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and AESU does honor requests too, correct, for rooming. And so just if we are able to have kind of a virtual meetup before the trip, or even an in-person, if there's someone that you really connect with or think like, oh, they would just be a great roommate for the next, for our time on the trip, you can totally submit that to retroactively and they can work to try and honor that. Obviously, the closer we get to the trip, the harder that is logistically to honor. But if we can kind of make that work timing wise, I think AESU is pretty good about accommodating that too. So
yeah, definitely. So if you have someone that you want to room with when you sign up, just list their name on your booking form and we'll go ahead and pair you. And then as Connor mentioned, the closer we get to the tour, it might be a little bit harder, but we will definitely do our best to accommodate any requests.
And also, if you guys are signing up as a single and I have another single, then we'll try to pair you guys together, and I'll be happy to share email addresses so that you can start talking to one another.
Okay, I think that might be all the questions that we had so far. I can give it another minute just to see if any more come in. Otherwise, if anyone thinks of any questions after the presentation, you can feel free to email myself or my colleague Maggie, who's on here, or if you want to send anything over to Kathy or Connor, they can do their best to answer you or direct you over to us. We're happy to answer any questions that you guys have. So I will go ahead and wrap it up on my end, but before we leave, I do want to give it back over to Kathy to announce those prize winners. So I just want to say thank you again to everyone for participating today. We are really hopeful to see you guys with us this fall. We have some exciting stuff coming up, or again, our trips in 2022 as well.
And I just want to remind everybody too that you can bring family and friends as long as they're within that age range of 22 to 35. So the person does not have to be an NC State alum for you to bring them along. Okay, so now we need to choose our prize winners. Okay, it's a voucher, correct?
Yes, a $100 voucher.
I had let me check to see if this person's still on. It's Brianna Holland.
Oh, That's awesome. Congrats, Brianna.
Okay, and for the towels, it's, let's see if he's still on. Is it Srilatha? Srilatha Beck?
I think they're on.
Yes, he's there.
Yeah, perfect.
And then for the travel goodies, it's Anna Futrell. And then for the socks, it's Jasmine. Is she still on?
I don't see
I don't see
Jasmine
her.
now.
All right, then we'll do another random number generator and let's see what. Let's see. It's Ashling, Ashling, Ashling. She's the sock winner.
Awesome. Well, congrats, y'all.
And we'll send you several pairs of socks.
Yeah. And just wanted to make one last kind of shameless plug, too, since obviously y'all are all young alums. We have some upcoming events, which are exciting, some of which have actually already sold out and are at cap, just because as we kind of slowly get back to doing in-person events, we are keeping them small. But wanted to share with y'all an upcoming event. We're doing a Young Alumni Trivia Night at Clouds here in Raleigh. So thank you for sharing the link there. So if you're interested in getting registered, you can click on that link. It includes your first drink and some food, and so should be a good time and a lot of fun. If you've been to a Clouds Trivia Night in general, they're a ton of fun. So it'll be great just to get a group at that event too. So yeah, thank you guys so much for hopping on, learning a little bit more. Hopefully, if you have questions, let us know. We'd love to see you guys on one of these trips. They're definitely once in a lifetime and a great opportunity just to get plugged in, but also get back to traveling if you're ready, because I think
Absolutely.
we're all itching for that, right? In some sense.
Right.
So.
And Connor and I say it's always better to travel in a pack because you have more fun.
True enough. Yes. So awesome. Well, thanks, y'all. It was so good to see you. And
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Thanks, everyone.
Yes.
Have a good one.
Thank you.